Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is Retroplex, and welcome back to another ranking video. Last video I ranked every stage from Shadow Generations, and now we'll be moving on to rank every stage from Sonic Generations. This game has a lot of really unique levels. Most of them are really fun, while some of them are, playable, to say the least. And just like every ranking video, this is all based on my opinion. Some will agree, and some will disagree. If you played Sonic Generations, feel free to drop your stage ranking in the comments below. I'd be down to hear yours. Now, without further ado, let's get to the worst stage of all time, which is Planet Wisp Act 1. This level fucking sucks major Yeah, Planet Wisp Act 1 is just such a frustrating level for any first-timers. And what really brings this level down tremendously is the use of the Pink Wisp, which is just terrible. The Pink Wisps. I can't even say it correctly. The Pink Wisp lacks good momentum, and it just feels so stiff when moving around. Not to mention those puzzle sections where you have to turn to a pink spike to grind on those stupid little gears just to get them moving and unlock certain paths. It's all just a fucking pain in the ass to pull off. I must confess, I have yet to collect all the red rings and chows from each stage, and I already know that collecting all the red rings in Planet Wisp Act 1 is gonna be a fucking nightmare. And the level above it is the older brother of Act 1, which is Planet Wisp Act 2. This level is definitely less worse than Act 1. For starters, they replaced the Pink Wisp with the orange one for you to turn into an orange rocket to blast through the platforms. I don't know why, but I really like that sound effect when you transform into a rocket and blast off. It just tickles my brain for some reason. I think this level looks really nice. I really like the visuals of the robot factory section and the visuals of the first half of the level. Boy, if only I could say the same thing about the gameplay itself. Yeah, you might as well call this stage Planet Wisp Act 1.5, because a small portion of this stage is 3D, while the rest is entirely 2D. Should've just put this level in the 3DS port of Sonic Generations, since the entire gameplay is 2D based. I definitely like using the orange wisp more than the pink one, but that's not really saying much. For a zone that is based off of Sonic colors, they definitely could have done a lot better than this. Next up, we got Seaside Hill Act 1. This level I'm not too big a fan of either. For a level that's inspired by Sonic heroes, there is a certainly large underwater section that takes up most of this level. I don't remember the original Seaside Hill being about 80% underwater. This stage honestly kind of reminds me more of the Labyrinth zone from the first Sonic title on the Genesis, rather than the actual Seaside Hill. The Planet Wisp acts may be frustrating, but Seaside Hill Act 1 is just underwhelming as hell. Next up, we got the very first level of the game, Green Hill Act 1. There's nothing really too much going on here. This is just basically a revamp of the classic Genesis Green Hill, but with slight changes with the platforming. This is the level you play before everyone gets sucked into the white space. And this is also the level where you get to touch some beautiful green grass, in case anyone has forgotten what that feeling is like. This is a really good starter level for this game. Nothing really else to say about it. Coming up next, we got Sky Sanctuary Act 1 from Sonic and Knuckles. This level does look very nice, with the clouds that you can bounce on, the little egg robots shooting lasers at you, and you run on platforms that collapse once you touch them, so you better go fast. I do really like the end section where you run around the spinning tower as it begins to fall apart, but collecting the red rings in this level is just a pain in the ass. I had to play this level, I think, 3 or 4 times just to get all of them, since they are scattered in different routes. And above Sky Sanctuary Act 1, we got Chemical Plant Act 1 from Sonic 2. This level does look very nice. I really love the blue and yellow visuals on the roads you run on, and those clear tubes that take you to different paths. The underwater sections are pretty neat as well, and you can activate certain switches to unlock different routes, and especially the waterfalls. I don't know, they're just very nice to look at, I guess. The enemies can be pretty annoying as well, with those cone-shaped enemies that spew out their balls, and the yellow spiders that will try to grab you and steal your rings, and the loop sections are pretty satisfying to run on. And next up, we got Rooftop Run Act 1, and this level honestly looks beautiful. I love that this takes place in Spagonia, and you have various hot air balloons in the background along with the falling confetti, and you jump off of balloons, and you go on these basket zip lines to reach your destinations, and you have to dodge some swinging spike axes, and the spiked platforms that will squash you to death. The underground section with the rolling barrels look really cool as well, and the near end of the level is honestly pretty tedious though, where you have to climb up the tower and climb on the clock hands to reach the next destination. It's pretty tricky to find the right timing. And next up we got City Escape Act 1. For a 2D classic Sonic level, this stage is pretty f***ing cool. I really like this take on this style of 2D, with taking elements from modern Sonic stages and injecting them into classic Sonic stages in a really unique way. And you have the gun military trucks trying to run you over. These trucks are not shy at all when it comes to running you over. There's this section with the scaffolds that you have to jump on to get to the higher route, and if you don't hurry up, the truck will knock everything over. So you better find the right timing and hurry up. And this is the only Act 1 level where classic Sonic gets to ride on a skateboard. That's honestly kinda cute, trying to be like his big brother modern Sonic. And the City Escape remix for Act 1 is incredible. And coming up next we got Sky Sanctuary Act 2. I always enjoyed the fascinating scenery of the classic Sky Sanctuary, so seeing it in 3D was quite enjoyable. The indoor sections of this level also look really nice, along with the red orbs that teleport you. There's even a section where the floors start to collapse, encouraging you to keep running, which is very similar to the end section from Act 1. The platforming in the stage is honestly pretty tricky due to its sharp turns and tight spaces. And as you can see, the gameplay I provided for this video, I did fumble quite a few times, that's my bad. Playing Sonic Generations after putting in several hours in Shadow Generations, the controls just feel a lot different. It's the muscle memory that kicks in. Anyways, I don't want to get off topic. Sky Sanctuary Act 2, very solid modern Sonic stage. Next up, it's Seaside Hill Act 2. If only I had Tails and Knuckles by my side, then we would get that true Sonic Heroes remake. This level is a really unique one because not only is this stage based off of Seaside Hill, but this level also takes inspiration from Ocean Palace, which is essentially the Act 2 of Seaside Hill. You can even hear the Ocean Palace theme when playing this level, which is a really clean transition coming from the Seaside Hill theme. And the level design is really interesting too, as there are multiple routes you can take in the section where it shows 3 different paths you can take, and each one has a different type of symbol. Whether it shows a picture of a turtle or a car, it really doesn't matter at all which paths you take at this level. The stage just has so many endless possibilities. Oh shit, wrong game. And the ending part of this level is really cool too, where you have to avoid all the rolling spiked barrels to reach the finish. And next on the list, it's Speed Highway Act 1, another classic Sonic level that I just really love the aesthetics of. You got all these beautiful buildings and cars that'll try to run you over if you don't look both ways. There's even some pretty cool Easter eggs in this stage too, especially that Chow in space poster, which really caught my eye. And the cinematography is really cool too, when classic Sonic grabs onto the missile and takes you to the next destination. I even love that you go into the hotels and break through the windows and eventually take you below the parking garage where you can see all the parked vehicles. And next up on the list, we got the best classic Sonic level, Crisis City Act 1. This has to be the most intense Act 1 level in this game, both visually and gameplay wise. Classic Sonic almost looks out of place in this stage, surrounded by debris caused by all the destroyed buildings on top of pools of lava, and you got all the enemies spewing fireballs at you, and the music for this level is such a banger too. The ending of this level is pretty sick, where you have this fire tornado in the background, and you got all those floating cars, trucks, and pieces of rubble from the buildings as running platforms, so you gotta be quite careful to make the right paths while trying not to be blown away by the wind. And by the time you get to the goalpost, the structure that holds the post is blown away and you have to keep chasing it until you reach the finish. I honestly kinda wish that more 2D Sonic levels would do this whole chase the goalpost thing. At first glance, I was not really a huge fan of Crisis City Act 1 due to how complex of a level it is, especially for an Act 1 level, but as time went on, I've realized the amount of replay value this level has, and I've grown to like this level a lot more. Well, now that we got all the classic Sonic stages out of the way, all there is left are the modern Sonic stages. And coming up, we got Chemical Plant Act 2. And this level looks sick as fuck. I love how in the beginning of the level, you're running on the blue and yellow path, and in between you are the 2 other paths that lead to different directions, just like in Chemical Plant Act 1. And you have the platforms that test your skills with the drifting ability, and the sections with the grind rails, or if you don't feel like using the rails, just take the zipline shortcut. And you got this really awesome section where you go down the water slide, and it launches you up, and then you go skydiving down the shaft with those stupid blue blobs that you have to avoid. This level even keeps some of the sections sections in 2D to preserve some of those classic chemical plant elements. In the near end of the level, as you hang on to more zip lines, there's multiple explosions in the background, which I thought was a really nice touch. Oh, and the modern chemical plant theme is such a fucking banger. Definitely one of my all-time favorite Act 2 themes in this game. I just love the visual presentation of this stage. It's just immaculate. Now, coming in at the top 5, we got the first Act 2 level, Green Hill Act 2. For a level to start off the game, this stage is fucking incredible. This game does a fantastic job turning the classic Green Hill into a more modernized 3D zone that you can boost through enemies, swap between rails, and the upgraded loops too. This level also kept some of the sections in 2D as a way of paying tribute to Green Hill from the classic Genesis title. The music of this theme is also fucking incredible. This is literally the type of music that I would listen to if I was running a marathon. And I hate running. And performing combos on the trick jump panels are really fun too. I also really love the cave section where you swap between the grind rails, and the cinematic of Sonic being chased by the giant chopper is really sick. And the waterfalls in this level look beautiful too. I just love the amount of details put into this level. Is it weird that I kind of want to live in Green Hill? I just really love the vibes of it. And coming in at number 4, we got Crisis City Act 2 from the infamous Sonic. Just like its Act 1 counterpart, the vibes of Crisis City Act 2 is quite intense, with the entire city in smithereens. The platforming in this level is really creative too, where you have all these chasms, and you have the home attack on the phoenixes to get to the other side, and you have those other sections with the lava pits. In a weird way, the platforming of this stage almost reminds me of that one level from Super Mario Galaxy. And the 2D sections are really unique too, where there are many platforms that are lifted by the floating lava, and you have to use the power stomp to lower them and progress through the level. And probably my favorite part of the level is boosting on the busted up freeway while dodging cars and boulders, and you can see the giant fire tornado too. For a level coming from a game that has glitchy controls, unpolished gameplay, and the notorious loading screens, I gotta say, Sonic Generations cooked with this level. No pun intended. Now coming in at number 3, we got the iconic City Escape Act 2 from Sonic Adventure 2. Not only does this level have a huge visual upgrade, but they even expanded the platforming too, and it is fucking awesome. They even did an excellent job giving this level some brand new tweaks while still sticking to its original roots from the original City Escape. Oh, and of course we got the iconic opening with Sonic snowboarding down the city, grinding down the staircases, dodging the enemy bots. They even added a 2D section like they do with nearly every Act 2 level. And they couldn't forget about the front-facing view of Sonic running away from the gun military truck, and you have to avoid its buzzsaws coming right at you. And the cinematography is just excellent. Same goes for the Act 2 theme. They even added a bridge part to the song too, which really caught my eye, or ears, since I'm hearing it and not watching it. And anyways, if I'm gonna be honest, I think I like the City Escape remake more than its original counterpart, but both stages will forever remain as one of the most iconic 3D Sonic levels. And the runner-up of the list, we have Rooftop Run Act 2 from Sonic Unleashed. This stage looks absolutely stunning because it takes place in the beautiful land of Spagonia, and you get a nice view of the Spagonia University, breaking windows through various buildings, and you have the section with the spike barrels rolling down at you, and it really puts your sidestepping skills to the test. And we got a nice 2D section too, leading up to another sidestepping section running up to the tower. Then you got a nice view of the hot air balloons, and you grind rail down, and there's balloons to bounce on to avoid the spike platforms. And I really love the ending too, where you use the drifting ability and you target on to the 4 balloons to get to the finish, and you really have to use the boost as you have the spiked ceiling slowly coming down on you, crushing you to death. And to finish it off, you get the arrow chasers shooting laser beams at you and take advantage of the quick steps. I also really love the quick stepping sections in general, so when playing this part I had nothing but a good time. Alright, now cue the endless possibilities bit.
I see it now, it's always been inside of me, and now I feel so free, and it's possibility.
Well, looks like I got all the levels out of the way, but now we finally get to the level taking the crown as the best level in Sonic Generations, and that stage is none other than that's right, everybody. the one, the only, Speed Highway Act 2 is taking the crown as the best Sonic Generations level. I don't think I can stress enough on how much I fuck with this level when it comes to great gameplay, beautiful aesthetics, excellent cinematography. This level just feels like something straight out of an action movie sequence. I mean, you're boosting on the buildings at an angle, avoiding bombs, and as you do so, the windows shatter on you. You're running in the hotel in 2D, and if you really pay attention, you can see the hotel gym with all the cardio equipment. And I love when Sonic grabs onto the helicopter, and then he lands on the pad, then you boost up to the next building and you get to see the inside of the building for a bit, and you break through the windows and you get chased by those security robot things, I think that's what you call them, and you're just boosting down, quick stepping past the walls and breaking more glass. That part is just phenomenal, and the cinematics complement it so well, and you put the drifting ability to really good use when you're running on the freeway with the cars to look out for. I was really on the fence of putting either Rooftop Run Act 2 or Speed Highway Act 2 as number 1, but after really observing the beauty of each of these stages, I think it's safe to say that Speed Highway takes the cake on this one. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is my ranking on every stage in Sonic Generations. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like these, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and also hit that little bell icon so you'll get notified when I upload a new video. Oh, and I just want to say a huge thanks to you guys. The last video where I ranked every Shadow Generation stage has reached over 3,000 views. That is the most I've gotten so far on a long-term video, so thank you guys so very much for watching the content. It really means a lot to me. If we can keep this momentum going for the future uploads, it would be much appreciated. That's all I got for today. Until next time, bye-bye.